welcome. I bet you thought I wasn't coming on, didn't you? Because I came on at exactly 7 o'clock instead of 5 minutes till. I know. I'm getting better with my time. If you're new here, I'm Tracy. Thanks for joining Queen Ladybug Nail Supply. I'm glad to have you. Tonight's class is fabuloso. I am teaching you how to do nail art with Saran wrap. Basically trash. I'm going to teach you how to do your nail art with it. Yes, I did say that. But also, if you've been here long enough, I do a live every Sunday night, every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I primarily teach nail art, and I'm glad to have you here. So thanks for being here. Listen, tonight we are live on Facebook, we're live on YouTube, we're live on Instagram, we're live on the website, we're live on our app all at the same time, so you can watch all of those. And you know what? I've done this for a long time. I think I've had that live twice a week since, I believe it's 2018. We were trying to count up the other day. I don't even know. It's been a long time. It's been at least 8 or 10 years that I've done this, and I record lots of classes per month for different groups, for various courses, for online courses that I produce. So this is my full-time job. So thank y'all for being here. We got a little change tonight. I'm just gonna try it. Okay? All these years that I have been live and done this, look, I have tried to answer every question while I've been live. I have tried to stay on task with my class. I've tried to help in the back end of things with technology. It's hard when you're just one person doing all of that. And our new app is very sophisticated. If you saw what's going on in the closet right there for us to go live, you would know, oh my gosh, how in the world did she navigate this? So tonight I'm not going to answer any questions. I want to stay focused on this tutorial for you. But my team that's helping me, if you'll post your question, as long as it's related to the tutorial, they will try and answer that for you. If they don't get to it, it's probably because they didn't see it or they're trying to answer somebody else's question. If it's pressing, send it to our Facebook page, Queen Ladybug Nail Supply, over in the inbox, and I'll answer it myself for you. Not while I'm live, but tomorrow I'll pick that up. Will y'all do that for me? Just humor me, because our new app has lots of good technology behind it. You see a coupon code up there. That's one of the things that Hillary's been able to implement. Tonight I'm so excited because we have a supply list with the press of a button that, boing, I can plug into our class tonight. And you can screenshot that. I think that's genius. I think it's genius because you forget what we're using and then you got to go back and rewatch the video. So yeah, that'll be there too. So y'all just humor me, hang with me tonight. I love y'all. I thank you for being here. And listen, I have not even set up my video station yet. I kind of want to adapt that and put it into our lives, especially for those of you who want to start creating content. So you can actually see me set up my station, start to finish. And if you'll hang around at the end of the class, I'm going to show you a really neat photo trick to get a beautiful photo of what you're doing. Tonight is blue and white. It's Granny's China night. The blue willow pattern, anybody familiar with that? If you don't know, I lost my grandmother about 3 weeks ago, and that's the china we always ate off of at her house, was blue willow. And I've put on something as close to blue willow as I had because I just want this to flow really nicely. And let's do this blue willow and just get an absolute awesome outcome from this class tonight, okay? Let's turn this camera around. Okay, this is where we are. This is my filming station. It sits behind my fancy schmancy station. I just don't like having my things out to film, or if I'm working on a particular online class, I don't like to have to clean all of that up to go back to work at my other station. So I've pretty much always worked from 2. Let me just give you a little peek-see here. So over to my left, I have things that are not included in the bundle, which I'll be using, which are my base coats, my top coats, white gel polish, chrome, and I always sit out black and white whipped cream. This is just an Orally prep spray that I have used forever. I have so many refills on it. I've just been trying to use it up. So nothing special there. And then, of course, the middle of my filming area. And then I have my brushes out that I'll be using right here. This is my vintage dental tray. Let's see if I can zoom in and give you a little look-see on that. I talked about these in another video. I found those at an antique store actually, and it's what you used to lay your dental tools on to put them in the sterilizer. And my mind immediately went to, oh, that's a nice brush holder. So I ended up with 2 of those, and I wish I had more. I have my acetone, my little acetone cup, and then everything that's on my gold tray, which I try to keep here, is in my bundle. I don't see my decal on there, but I'm sure it's laying on my desk here. So that stays in my bundle. Let's get positioned right here in the middle so I can kind of bring you in on what we're doing. Tighten my camera slightly. Okay, so I don't like a white background. I never have liked that. And since we're doing Granny's Blue Willow China tonight, I have all kinds of scrapbooking paper, and this is a vellum paper. In other words, it's kind of see-through, and this is the side it's printed on, obviously. But if you turn it over on the other side, it's a little bit lighter. It's a little bit fainter. And that's the side that I'm going to use to create the background for my video. I use just a little bit of masking tape. I'll tape it up here because if I don't get this dirty, obviously I reuse these. A little bit there. And just slide that up under. I keep that little tray sitting at the back of my filming station just because I like the ambiance that gives. And now I can move my camera overhead just like that. And every time I move this camera, I have to end up tightening it a little bit. And then I'll kind of zoom you in. And there's the beautiful backdrop for our video. Now, in tonight's bundle, we have all of these goodies. We have the white full cover press-on nails. Now, I've already used out of mine. This is a mini set of Queen Ladybug white tips. I believe there's 120 in here, if I'm not mistaken, but I would need to check that online. Also, the top coat called Here's Looking at You, Kid. This is a matte top coat, but it's got a little bit of a blue shimmer to it, and this is our HEMA-free top coat. Also is included is the Sapphire Gemstone Gel. Look at these, how beautiful. This is Blue and Silver Roses. And then a metallic liner. It might be gold, it might be silver. I'm not sure. It's one of these. And your little coupon code is right there on the screen for the bundle. And you can save you some money if you put that code in when you check out. We're going to need some cling wrap. Just some regular old Saran wrap. Don't use the press and seal. I tried that, and it just stuck together too much. I had a hard time finding this one, actually. You just need a little piece off of here, and you're going to make it up into a little ball. Now, I already have 3 nails that I put some white gel polish on just because I didn't want to use up all of my white nails for this. So we're just going to go with this right now for our blank base. Let's set up our palette. I love these palettes. If you don't have these, this is our Painter's Pro palette. You get a 2-piece. Can you see that finish on there? It's kind of like an eggshell finish. This is great for loading your brush for one-stroke paints. We're going to put some of this sapphire. Now, I have a piece of press and seal on mine because when I close it back, I don't want it to be leaky. I'm going to try not to peel that off of there actually. The two brushes I'm using tonight are a 00 brush and a 9mm brush. I know that's shocking, right? And we're just going to put a little bit of that on our palette. You cannot use gel polish for this. Gel polish is going to bloom too quickly. And you're going to end up with a mess. You won't have anything that looks like Granny's Blue Willow China. I'm going to get me a little wipey ready with some of this alcohol spray on it. I've already got that on my paper too. Look, this paper was pricey. I think this was $1.39 a piece when I bought this. And scrapbooking paper is getting really hard to find. So I don't need all of this. First things first, let's make our little, almost like a spit wad ball. And you want to use this where the nooks and crannies are forming, like right there is perfect. Okay. So we got this ready. We're just going to set this to the side. On two of these nails, we're going to put the Team Ladybug Blooming Gel. We might as well do both. Nice thin layer of blooming gel. And go ahead and do the second one while we've got this little wand in our hand. I love, blooming gel is one of my favorite art products to work with. It's very freeing. Nothing happens the same twice. So you kind of, you're not under pressure to perform as a nail artist because she's gonna do what she wants to do, honey. Now, let me bring you in just a little bit closer here. There we go. We're going to ink up that Saran wrap. So she looks something like that. This one I'm going to stamp. Let me pick up just a little more and stamp and stamp and down the side just a little. Something like that. And we're just going to sit that on our tip holder. We want that to really start to bloom out. Wipe this on a paper towel and reload that sponge or not sponge. Let's just get a fresh piece here. I need a piece a little bit tinier, and this time you're going to want to use your tweezers to handle this with, because if we're working on a human, we don't want to get this on the skin. So this one's a little bit tricky on the placement. So let's just pretend that we are working on a human. There we go. Back in here. Just tap off just a couple of times. Now, we're getting a slower bloom on this because it's gel paint instead of gel polish. And that's looking really pretty. I'm going to go ahead and pop this one in the light. The other one that we've put this blooming gel on, I'm going to go around the corner, around the perimeter. Like that. And a little bit down here at the bottom. And now we let this one sit. How easy was that, right? I'm going to move this out of the way. We're not done with that, but I don't want to put my finger in that, obviously. I have just a regular Velvet Touch matte top gel, and this one, because I'm going to do a decal, in case you don't want to hand paint your flowers like I'm going to show you, we're going to turn this into flowers. Then you can put your decal on here, and we all know that decals sit on a matte surface. That makes them stick really, really, really good. Really good. And now into the lamp we go with that one. Let's see, are we ready for this one just yet? I'm gonna let that one bloom just a tad longer. But look at this little lady. Oh, she's pretty. Very pretty. While we're waiting on that one back there in the back to bloom, I'm gonna pull out my Artistic Matte. This is our chrome blocking matte top coat. Let's see, one of mine is about empty. I think that's the one. Oh yeah, this is the new one. A nice, generous, schmoozy layer. And do not undercure this. 60 seconds, no less than 60 seconds, okay? For some of you, you'll want to test this in your lamp. If your lamp is not quite as strong, it may take longer than 60 seconds for that to resist your chrome. Oh, and she's looking good. Look at there. And we'll go ahead and cure her. While those are in the light, I am wearing my favorite color gel polish from the Queen Ladybug line. This is called Hubba Bubba. I love this red. It's like a neon red with a little bit of a coral undertone to it. How many of y'all used to wear Cajun shrimp back in the day? If Cajun shrimp had a sister that was on steroids, this would be it right here. That would be her. Okay, that's just about finished in that light. We'll go ahead and snap this up. Where's our palette? I am going to add a little bit of our gold liner. Now this is thin like milk. The thinner the liner, the thinner the detail that you're going to be able to get with this. And I'm going to chrome over top of this just because I want a little bit of that raised texture on mine. This one is finished, so let's go ahead. This one's going to get the same treatment as the other one. Let's go ahead and do our Artistic Matte on here. Very pretty. Had I used gel polish instead of the blue gel paint, this would have bloomed into that because it's a lot more runnier. Okay, and there she is. Before we get into these ones, let's get our decal put on here. The decals that come with the bundle tonight are absolutely, they're just insane. They're so pretty. Let's open these. These are called Blue and Silver Roses. Now I'm going to use gold with mine because y'all know I'm a gold person. But by all means, if you want to use silver, and there may be some of these that have a silver liner in it also, which I think would be just fine. Have you had a good week? My mom still needs lots of prayers, just lots of prayers. She's had a setback today, and my brother's been letting us know what's going on. So her name is Linda, and she is in Redford Health and Rehab Center. Okay, and look, I've got the room. I think I'm going to grab this little lady right here. I've got room for her. Now, y'all know I like my X-Acto knife to take these things off of here with. I just have better luck with that. Let's get her off. And we'll kind of get all of these to the same stage before we get ready to use this gold liner. Look how pretty she is. Girl, quit. And I think about right there. Now we can pull out our tweezer with our little squeegee on it. And she's ready to go. Okay, so we're going to cover her up in a matte top coat. And then we'll be ready to do whatever kind of treatment we want on this one. I should have covered her in artistic matte, and I forgot. Too late now. We'll just go on top of this with an artistic matte. Now, in your bundle, here's looking at you, kid. This is a matte top coat, but I don't want this everywhere. In other words, I don't want that behind the entire design. So I'm gonna work with this on my palette like I would a gel paint. And when the time is right, I will use that. Okay. 9mm brush. Let's put a little acetone in our itty bitty little teensy tiny. I guess this was supposed to be a flower vase at one time. And I keep my acetone in a little salad dressing bottle here. And no, it never evaporates. Not ever. Grab a paper towel. And I'm just going to put that to my right. Because I'm right-handed, I try to keep all of my brushes and, you know, things I reach for real often over here. Now, here's the tricky part. Our brain has to be able to see flower petals in here somewhere. Let's mix that up. And my brain is definitely seeing some petals. Let me look at this real quick because each one is going to bloom out differently. I'm seeing the petals up in this portion. So I have one petal here. Look at there. And one petal here. Let's see if I can get you any closer. There we go. I also see another petal here. And I'm just going to let it join that one. And there. Another one here. And on off the side right here. Look at there. There are also some petals here. Maybe one kind of coming this way that joins that one. These are laying in front of those other petals. And now let's open up these petals a little. Let's do a little piggyback stroke here. This is why you need a super thin paint. Look at that. Oh, Miss Tracy. Let's open up the other side of that petal. And I just stopped it right there where the other petal was. Let's open this one. Press and open. And press and open. And maybe open this one on the edge right there. That is going to be beautiful. I'm going to cure that much because this is thin paint and I don't want it to kind of run or change position there. And we're going to get her sister. This one I don't really want to have petals. I want this to have little tiny leaves in it. Like here. Super light touch. Like you can hardly breathe when you're doing this. And if you're working on a weekly client, they gotta be still, honey. There's a leaf. Here's a leaf that's turned sideways. At least my brain is telling me it is. There's a leaf. Are you seeing how I'm using shapes that are already here to form those leaves around? Everybody seeing that? This one's kind of going this way. Yeah. And yours, humidity and room temperature have a lot to do with how this blooms out. And child, it's going to be 92 here tomorrow. Oh, let's do a little leaf kind of turned up this way. That almost looks like a butterfly, doesn't it? If you want yours to have a butterfly, honey, put a butterfly in it. There's a little leaf. Look how pretty that is. Don't crowd that up. Now let's come down here at the bottom. And I definitely see one here. Super, super light touch. And definitely one here. And one over here for sure. And I think I've got one kind of laying sideways right there. What do y'all think? It's like she's going this way, right? I knew y'all would agree with me. Okay, and now we cure that. Don't under-cure this gold paint. At least a 60-second cure on that. Now, let's put some of those little baby leaves on down here in this design. Actually, I see another flower forming here. Let's do that first. We've got a petal there. We have, it looks like a petal here. And this petal, I am going to piggyback and really open that one up. And we'll just pretend, put another petal here. Just kind of run that off the side of the nail. Now let's make just a couple little leaves. One there. One here. And now the movement that's going on around that is screaming for some just really pretty filigree work. Watch what I'm talking about. You see that little swirl right there? I'm just going to emphasize that. Oh, Miss Tracy, look here. Let's put a little movement in there. That is beautiful. That was a doggy shake in case you heard that one. My little Dutchie will be a year old this weekend. Look how beautiful that is. Maybe we open that one up just ever so slightly. And then while that's wet, curl that around just a little. That's exquisite. Girl, even if I did do that myself, honey, let's cure that. Now this one is not going to get any swirls. It's the easier of the two. I'm going to grab a dotting tool though, because my brain is seeing a few little dots here. You're going to have to keep your metallics mixed up while you're working with those. This is what we call cluster dots. This is what Miss Tracy calls cluster dots, not we. They look like little pods of grapes. Oh, maybe we have a couple up in there. One here. There. And maybe here. One there and one there. Okay, and now we cure that. Let me see. Look at there. That's beautiful. Go ahead and cure. And I should have checked this. I do want some of those movement dots in here. If I'd have done it all at once, I wouldn't have had to have done another cure, but oh well. That's okay, boo. Little movement dots here. Sometimes you need to get it in the lamp just so you don't touch it. I don't trust myself a lot of times. And maybe right in here. And that's going to be all. Okay, now we will cure. Because I missed or put the wrong top coat on there, I'm going to put some artistic matte on this because I want some of this gold on here. But I also want some of that blue on there as well. Okay, in the lamp we go. But you know what? We could do that one in silver since that decal has silver. Should we do that? Yeah, I think so. I'm using the Triple Crown chrome palette here. I grab a little bit of that gold. These are soft chrome pigments. Don't press too hard. You will you'll break it. I know from experience. Okay, and here is our little simple dimple girl. Here we go. Adding the chrome on top of the liner already. There's the liner without it. Here's the liner with it. You can see how much more chromy it gets. And really burnish that into that liner. That's what makes it nice and mirror finish. Look how beautiful. And then you top coat this with a top coat of your choice. If you want it all shiny, if you want it matte, if you want to leave it matte and only top coat over the chromed areas, you can do that too. I'm gonna let you be the judge though of how you do that. How pretty that is. And let's go with her neighbor here. A little bit more of that chrome. And I'll give you the nail recipe that Hillary has prepared for this. I'm going to slide it in at the end of our class. That way, if you're going to come back and rewatch at a later date, you don't have to hunt through all of the class to find, okay, where did Miss Tracy do that? We're going to pop it in at the end of the class here. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, last but not least, if you're not a hand painter and you want to use this, you could put this in the middle and then do this technique right around it if you want to. I'm going to do something a little fancy. So y'all hang tight with me. I still got plenty of time, honey. I haven't used all my time yet. No way, no way. I am going to need a little bit more of this metallic liner. Now, I'm going to chrome this one silver. It doesn't matter that it's gold underneath because this is a no white gel and that silver will stick to it. First thing we're going to do is frame out the decal. I'm still using my 9mm brush here. Get in real close to your decal. Oh, and come about right there. And then meet up right over here. Same thing here on the lower half. Take your time when you're trying to get these little teeny tiny strokes like this. I'm gonna come in with a piggyback. Maybe I'll do a piggyback right here. And now maybe I'll open that one up just a little. Look how pretty that is. And maybe I'll open that one. Go in with a few dots here on the side. And maybe right in here. I'm going to freeze that so I don't touch that. Oh, let's say 3 seconds. I don't have my little flashy cure nearby. I knew there would be something I would forget. Now we're going to do the other side. Now these do not have to be even. You see I have a shorter one there and a longer one here. It doesn't matter. I could do the longer one. Look, I could do a much longer one right there. And then up here, go with a little bit shorter one. Right inside. Look at there. And now just a few dots. kind of keep these dots a little bit more precise. Maybe a few there. And let's cure that. 60 seconds, please. I'm gonna wash out my brush with some acetone, and then I'm going to grab this off my palette just so I don't get my fingers in that. We've got plenty of our sapphire left, and this is also a no wipe gel. I could have done that gold trim I just did. I could have put that in blue had I wanted. I am going to trim this out in some blue, just a little bit different fashion here. And I think we'll put silver chrome on this one. Let's see, right here. There we go. Nice. Look. It takes very little chrome when you're doing isolated chrome like this. Always burnish that in. Burnish, burnish, burnish. And let me get a clean makeup sponge and just give that a little wipey, just so I get all of that chrome residue off of there. Look how pretty that's gonna be. Now this is what I have the top coat here for. Oops, I almost touched that. I know y'all are wondering about that, right? Let's go back into 00 brush, because this nail I'm going to top coat all over with clear. And actually, I think I want just a little bit of clear top coat to thin this out some. I'm going to use this inside of that little framed area, just for a little bit of added twinkle. Right in here. Don't overdo it, honey. She'll look straight up ugly. Now, I know that's hard to see on camera right now, but trust me, when we put the top coat on here, that's going to have a nice little twinkle inside of there. Darla is serenading y'all tonight. Y'all hear her? She says, I want my nails did. I want my nails did. And now we'll do a quick little freezy cure on her just so she doesn't move, and I can go right on ahead with my blue. Y'all hanging with me tonight? You doing okay, Blue? You doing okay? Thank y'all for allowing me to focus on my class and give you guys a really, really good class. I pride myself on that, and I'm a type A person. Who else type A do I have? I cannot think of a lot of things at once. My brain has never been able to do that. And I realized several weeks ago that I was getting off track, trying to answer all the questions and that sort of thing. So thank y'all so much. Now here we go. I am going to, I'm just gonna eyeball this. What I'm doing is exactly following the curve of the nail. It's been so hot here today that poor Dutchie, she is my ginger colored Cavalier King Charles, and she's the bigger of the two. When she comes in from outside, she just lays down on the cool floor. She's like, I'm not laying on any rugs. I don't want to lay in my bed. And now if you can make the letter C, that's already pretty. Look, if you can make the letter C, you can make this. Watch. Letter C. But what we're going to do is go up inside of that letter C and join that together. And now we're going to make the letter C backwards. So she looks like this. And then join the bottom. Girl, quit. And we do that all the way around. Letter C. Make their little butts kind of touch each other. And now backwards letter C. This is just a little tiny scroll pattern. I don't have much room there. I'm going to stop it with that one and then come right over here. A backwards letter C. Let their little behinds touch. And then forwards letter C. Now, why wouldn't I use embossing gel for this, Miss Tracy? You could, but because I am going to top coat mine, I want this to lay as flat as it possibly can. So I don't want it raised up like embossing gel would be, like our whipped cream gel. And you can elaborate, you can make your letter C's fancy. You can come up inside of that and make another letter C if you want. That's up to you. But that's all that is basically, is the forward and the backwards letters C's. Look how pretty. And we're going to do the same thing at the bottom. There is about the middle of the nail. Take your time and mark that off. And right there. Oh, child, I would love to wear these nails actually. Y'all know blue's my favorite color, right? And then here we have room for a bigger letter C. Get in frame, Thelma. And then maybe we have one come this way. You can kind of ad-lib down here because you don't have that straight area like you do at the top. So just fill this with little C strokes that are kind of intertwined with each other. Just fill it in where you can. And now take that dotting tool. Let me make sure I don't have gold on it. Go into your blue paint. And dot, dot. If you have room up here, you can add some. You know what would be really pretty there is this. Look, like a lace border. Dot. These all have to be kind of close in size if you can get them. And let it sit right on this line here. Close to that as you possibly can. You know, this is hand painting. This is not a decal like we put in the middle. So this should have some little bit of eclecticness to it. in here. Look how pretty that is. I think we just put that on the top. It'll be too heavy if I put it on the bottom. And now we want to cure this. Any of our gemstone gel paints are at least a 60-second cure, but again, test that in your light, okay? So let's go in the lamp. That is a 60-second cure. And let's bring in these little ladies. Let's see if I have a photo bar really quickly I can grab. I don't know. I should. Just don't know where they are. I do. So this is what I would use to display. This goes in a little box. Everybody asks me where I get these. They come in the box. I've had this thing forever. I don't even know what it's called, to be honest with you. Oh, our nail is done. Let's put a shiny top coat over that. We're going to seal that with Ladybug Luster. And I'm going to say a nice schmoozy layer because you've got some texture going on here. So whether you're working on press-on nail or on a human, turn that finger upside down or nail, whichever, and let that top coat encapsulate all of that texture. Oh, nice. I'll give you a close-up on that in just a second. Let's get that in the light before that gel falls down. And I'm going to move some things out of the way so I can show you how I'm going to take this final photograph here, because this is beautiful and I have to reposition my camera just slightly so you can see what I'm going to do. Now this would apply if you're going to take a photograph with your cell phone or with a digital camera. It doesn't matter. Let me back off. Like I am really gonna back off so I can show you what I'm doing here. Let's see here, about right there. So I have a handy dandy mirror. Ideally, I would use a smaller mirror, but I don't have one at my station here. We're going to photograph these nails on the mirror. The problem with that is when we photograph that, we are getting all of the things above that mirror that's reflecting down into there. So I'm going to show you how to fix that. Just grab our nail tips here. Make sure we're positioned right. There's middle nail. Don't worry, I'll zoom you in just a second. Side nail. And side nail. Now, why wouldn't you photograph the nail on this beautiful paper? You can, but if you're using a cell phone like most of us, and you lay those nails on this paper, the paper's in focus, the nails are in focus. Everything is so up in your face that the nails don't get the treatment they deserve. They need to be center of attention. So here's what I like to do. I teach this at a lot of different places, is whatever I've used for my background, I'm going to angle that paper. And now I automatically have a background behind my nails that's going to be somewhat out of focus. I can bring that up even higher. Look here. And so now those nails are in focus. Let me zoom back in. Let me get right over here. I know that's making you a little dizzy, but depending on how far away you can get from that, if this little light weren't in my way, I could really raise my paper up. Oh, there we go. Look, look. And now I'm in video mode. I wouldn't want to be in video mode. I would want to shoot this with my cell phone while that paper is kind of hanging out above that. Look at there. Let me get my other phone. Okay, here we go, Gigio. I'll let you see kind of in the screen here. Let's get our camera open. Now we're going to get, let's just let that focus. It's taking it just a minute. There we go. You see, you're gonna see my camera in there, and that's not what we want. We want to back off enough and use the zoom actually on our camera. Let's see if we can move these tips forward just a little bit to get them out of that bar of light. Give me just a second, because I want to get a good shot. There we go. Is that going to work? Let's see. Yes. All right, there we are. And we're going to take our picture. I know, it seems like a lot of trouble for a picture, doesn't it? It's going to be a fabulous picture, honey. Let me hold it with my other hand here. Oh, hello. Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. I know you can only see part of that because I'm trying to hold this with both hands. Hold on, just let me get this real quick. Okay, there's our picture. Okay, now you're looking at a screen in a screen, so that's going to be a little bit fuzzy, but from there you crop out anything that's hanging around the edge, and I will post this finished photograph on our Facebook page so you can kind of see how that turned out. It's just a little photo tip that I've used over the years. So thank you for being here tonight, everybody. Don't forget to use your coupon code hanging right next door there for the bundle that we used tonight. And really quickly, I am going to pop in this supply list that Hillary so generously made for us. Are we ready? We ready for that? Okay. Thank y'all. Hang tight. Hang tight.